things.
Today, on this episode of the show about things, it's not action-packed or super intense like our past videos. This video is made to broaden your intellectual horizons. Today, we will talk about two genetic conditions, Turner syndrome and hemophilia. The first condition we will talk about is Turner syndrome.
Turner syndrome is a genetic condition that only girls can be born with. Girls are supposed to be born with 2 X chromosomes, but girls that have Turner syndrome only have 1 X chromosome. Some of the symptoms are kidney problems, high blood pressure, hearing difficulties, heart problems, obesity, and lack of sexual development. There are a few ways a doctor can tell if you are diagnosed with Turner syndrome. When you are born, you have a wide or webbed neck and your nipples are widely spaced apart. Or, when you're 12 to 15 and not going through puberty, this will prevent your ovaries from developing and make it unable for you to become pregnant on your own. There are a couple treatments that will help you go through puberty and be taller than the average person with Turner syndrome, which is 4'7". There is estrogen replacement, which will help you hit puberty, but there is no cure to Turner syndrome. Turner syndrome is not passed on. It's just one of those things that randomly happens. On to you, Ryan.
Thanks, Derek.
You're welcome.
Today, the genetic disorder I'm talking about is hemophilia. Hemophilia is a rare bleeding disorder in which your blood doesn't clot normally. Hemophilia is inherited, which means you are born with it and you get it from your parents. Hemophilia is a defect on one of the genes on an X chromosome. Now I'll explain how hemophilia is passed down from parents. First, I'll explain how women can pass down hemophilia to their children or just have hemophilia. Women have 2 X chromosomes. 1, 2. Pretend that this red X is an X chromosome that has a bad gene or a gene with hemophilia. Since the woman only has 1 bad chromosome with the hemophilia gene, that only makes her a carrier. She herself won't have hemophilia, but she will be able to pass it on to her children. If the woman is only a carrier, which means she only has 1 red X or 1 infected X chromosome, that means that she will only pass it down to her kids. She won't actually have hemophilia. There's a 50% chance that she could pass it down to her son, and a 50% chance that she could pass it down to her daughter. So it's not for sure that she'll pass it down to her kids. If the woman is only a carrier, and the woman or the mother passes it down to her daughter will also only be a carrier. The only way a daughter can have hemophilia, which means having two red X chromosomes, is if the mother and the father both are carriers. Now I'll talk about males. Males only have 1 X chromosome. If a male's X chromosome has hemophilia, which means it's red, then this means that he is a carrier and also has hemophilia, so he can pass it down to his children. So, if a father has hemophilia but a mother doesn't, then the father can only pass hemophilia down to his daughters, and the sons will not get it. But the daughters will also only become carriers, but they will all become carriers. For a daughter to be born with hemophilia, the father must have hemophilia and the mother must also. But it's very rare that a girl is born with hemophilia. Also, some people are born with hemophilia from a random mutation of a gene in the X chromosome. Some symptoms of hemophilia are random nosebleeds, heavy bleeding from cuts or scrapes, or bleeding from a cut after it stopped bleeding for a short amount of time. If you have a bleeding problem, doctors can take tests to see if you have hemophilia, what type of hemophilia it is, and how severe it is. You will have a physical exam and blood tests to diagnose hemophilia. Blood tests are used to find out how long it takes your blood to clot and if any clotting factors are missing from your blood. The main treatment for hemophilia is called replacement therapy. Concentrates of clotting factor are slowly dripped in or injected into a vein. Clotting factor concentrates can be made from human blood that has been treated. Thank you for watching our show, and have a great day.
So this is the end of this episode. Please be sure to tune in the next week's show.